Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. We are here for our 249th episode of the Talk That Talk Show, and we are just one episode away from 250. We have had such a great year so far in 2024. And, the time leading up to our last episode, it's been such an eventful, couple weeks here. The things that have transpired in my life, I'm not running from them at all, not at all. We're taking everything full head of steam. And one of the biggest things that, I've talked a lot about has been accountability. And, when it's come down to coaching in general, I feel like, this position that I've been put into, being the, assistant varsity girls flag football coach, it has done wonders not only for the girls that I coach, but also for me in general myself. And, I have to take accountability and say that, within my life and within my schedule, there's been a lot of things thrown at me. And I just feel like, I've constantly been like on my heels, just trying to, take whatever is coming at me at the moment. But I feel like over these last couple weeks, even though a lot of things have transpired, Talk That Talk Show is obviously the number one focus for me. And even in not recording this last week, there was a lot of groundwork that was done for Talk That Talk Show. The last time I had talked to you guys, I had spoken about a fundraiser that I was starting up for the Talk That Talk Show to fund some of the girls on my girls flag football team. If just to give you guys a sense of, the girls that I coach on an everyday basis, these girls are just blue collar girls. A lot of them, have to miss practice at times because they have to go to work. A lot of times, we have girls, big shout out to the girl Key, but she literally shows up to practice, goes stupid hard, then literally has to go to work. Then we got one of our other defenders, Kai, who literally had to bring her niece to practice just so that she could practice. We have girls that, truly embody just that blue collar work ethic. And I feel like, someone like myself, being that I've been able to juggle, multiple jobs, I think that, I do tend to take on responsibility, but nothing that I can't handle. And at first, I didn't know what I was getting myself into with coaching with these girls flag football, but really, in trying to empower these girls, in a way I've been able to empower myself. And the last time, we were on the air, I was speaking about the frustrations of losing our first two games, and having that self-doubt, having that sense of defeatedness almost, where you're like, shit, I'm putting in this work, I'm putting in all this effort and not getting the results that we wanted. And then, we had a game, our third game of this season, going up against South Hunterdon. And they were a program just like us, and they were struggling to get their first win as well. So we were two winless programs going into this game. And, I just feel like one of the jokes that we had was that we were calling ourselves the North Plainfield Rainmakers, because it just seemed like every time we would have a game, we're constantly playing in the pouring rain. And I feel like, in a way, going through those tough conditions, helped to really get our girls a little bit of toughness and some grit. The first game that we had against Summit, we saw that we only lost by 4 points, and it was just so close, right? It was right there for us. Then the Hunterdon Central game, it was only a 10-point game, but by the time we were coming back, it was too little too late. And then finally, with this game against South Hunterdon, we just came out there focused and ready to get a win. And, I saw the girls really just step up defensively, step up offensively, and really just lock in, as they like to say. And, it was one of those things and one of those special moments for me as the clock ticked off and we finally got our first win in program history. Oh, man, I couldn't tell you how happy I was. And To see the elation on these girls' faces. I had the one girl, Jasmine, love her to death. She's like standing here with a boom box, like 30, 40 pounds as we're walking out of the stadium. And, for these girls that didn't get a chance to feel like what it meant to be a champion or to feel like to win a big game or to win a road game. For a lot of those girls that were on the team, that was their first chance and their first taste of actually winning something, right? Building towards something and accomplishing a goal. That was huge, man. And I saw the belief as we got on the bus, and I was actually proud of him too, because we had a situation where a couple of the people on the sideline a game previously were jawing at him and yelling at him from Huntington Central, and one of our girls, Jasmine, got everybody back on the bus. And just really working on our composure. And I saw girls previously in the school where they had attitude issues, and we've seen different growth from them based off of the responsibility of not only knowing the plays, executing them, but just being a part of a team. I just think it's underestimated what it takes to be a part of a team and how it means to be a good teammate. And I think for a lot of those girls on our team, they learned that game through winning together, putting it together, executing. They understood why we were putting in the work that we were doing every single day. And for them to get that win, there was the belief that we needed. I feel like for me, making certain sacrifices where, in my mind, I really felt like I could still try and, bowl these last couple weeks on Wednesday night and still be able to, kind of play Superman. But, I had to make the realistic sacrifice that I would not be able to, give them my honest 110%. And that was one of the biggest sacrifices that I had to make, especially in a championship run and a championship, push where, our Wednesday night team, we were going hard, and, we were well on our way to taking first place and solidifying that. I was bowling the best I had, all season, and I had to shut it down because I had to give these girls 110%. And when it came down to it, scheduling issue-wise or whatever, that moment, watching those girls in the pouring rain get all of their hard work validated to the point where they could get their first win in program history, that made all those sacrifices worth it to me. And, to be able to do that and, guide them to not only get that win, but now prepare for the next game. And unfortunately, I think the great thing about sports is it can give you some of the greatest moments of all time, and then it can give you some really low points. And I have to say, going off of a win against South Huntington, our team had all the confidence in the world. We had a couple good practices leading up to it, but I feel like in a way our girls kind of were happy to be there and almost elated to not only win, but it was almost like they accomplished their goal. And now they have to, pack that shit up and go out there and get another one. And, we saw that the team that we played against, Plainfield High School, was, 2-year program, had much more practice on us, much more experience, but, they came out there and got a big-time win against us. They beat us, I think it was 33-12 or something like that, 33-14. But, it was a tough performance. It was one of those where you had over 100 people in the stands for a girls' flag football game, which is absolutely amazing. And to be a part of that, that's what you make those sacrifices for. But it's tough when you're making certain sacrifices, and then you have on the flip side where you don't get results, right? To be able to sit there and see girls defeated, to see girls giving up on plays, to see girls fighting, crying, doubting whether they wanted to be there, doubting each other. That Plainfield loss was something that was character building for our team, because I think that was the first time all season where we got beat on every single level. Couldn't do anything defensively, couldn't do anything offensively, couldn't do anything special teams wise. Our team, even though prepared, we couldn't get it done. And I think that was frustrating for a lot of the girls because, when you have goals set in place and you have things in your mind and these expectations for yourself, to not meet them and to, pretty much fail in front of over 100 people, I think that was a big time humbling experience for our team. And, I was so proud of the girls because, a lot of times, especially with adults as well too, when you have something that doesn't go your way, a lot of times people make excuses. It's so much easier for you to blame something else than to look within yourself and take accountability. And when I stepped in that locker room, I told them that, I have to take responsibility. I have to make sure that we are much more prepared going into games. And I think that the response that I was able to get kind of took me back a lot because when I got home, I got a text message from the head coach, and she was like, "Hey, can you join a Zoom call?" And at first, I thought it was just going to be between me and her to kind of like, break down what happened and, go over our feedback. But when I hopped on the Zoom, it was almost 20 girls at 9 o'clock at night when some of them still had school. They all still had school tomorrow. Some of them still had homework to do. We were all on a Zoom call. And coach pretty much just said, lay it all out there. What's the feedback? How are we feeling? And, to see girls that weren't even playing in the game, to see, the response from, the captains or whatever we have on the team, to see them step up and gather these girls on a Zoom call at 9 o'clock after we just lost, got the shit kicked out of us. And they're already trying to problem solve, and they're already, that hurt by what happened to go back and refocus. And, this practice today that we had was one of the best that we had. I saw girls lock in, and, what we did say was that, hey, take everything that we felt in that loss and let's use that to motivate us. I saw girls that normally goof off in practice lock in, understanding the plays, being in situations that, we can, give them confidence in. And I feel like, again, most times, and when you look at some of the older episodes, a lot of times, I'm pretty much going off of what's happening in the sports world and, what's happening through different current events and stuff. And I feel like, and this is part of, why I'm trying to get into this, when you take on a responsibility, and that responsibility is to bring up someone else, to elevate someone other than yourself, it's such a selfless act and such a selfless thing where, you have no choice but to then start believing and doing the things that you're influencing other people to do. So at first it started out as a joke when I would say, hey, I take accountability for my actions. I'm sorry. And girls started, getting, thinking that it was cheesy and making fun of it. But, as things started going on in practice, when a girl would make a mistake, you start to hear him say, hey, I take accountability for that. That was my mistake. I'll get it next time. And, when you really put 110% into something, and when you finally get the belief of the people that you're in battle with, it's a dangerous thing, man. And, to have a girl who literally has lost weight since, joining up the program, telling her friends that she can't smoke on game days so that she can lock in. That's a change. That's a change from having purpose, right? So, for me, coaching has not only given me purpose, but it's allowed me to give other girls throughout that program a purpose, right? It's given them a reason to show up to school every day so that they can show up in practice. It's given them a reason to talk to their friends, to talk to their teammates, to build relationships so that we can go on the field and get it done. sports have taught me so much in my life. And I'd be lying to you if I said that sports weren't a big part of my life. And, this opportunity that I've had to coach has been one of the most difficult, challenging, and most humbling experiences that I've ever been a part of. But to sit here and tell you all the growth and the changes that I've seen, not only in these girls, but within myself and my own thought processes and the things that I have. One of the things that we were able to do was I was able to release a hoodie that I haven't released in multiple years. And in doing so, I was able to vend at 420 event at Cloud9 Dispensary. My girlfriend and my father were there to vend this event. And we were able to raise $500 to donate to the girls' North Plainfield flag football program. That is what I'm talking about. Using the brand to be able to elevate someone else. Not only that, but just, thinking selflessly, man. When you have a higher purpose and when you have something that you're building towards, it's the most exciting thing when you see yourself make those little incremental goals, right? And sure, we're 1-3, but I can sleep at night knowing that I'm making these girls better, not only athletes, but better human beings, because they're starting to make the changes that are necessary to be better human beings. And in essence, that will then translate on the field. And that's worth any dollar value that I can win in bowling. That's worth anything. Just in general, man. I just never thought the effect that these girls would have on me. And I'm just happy, man. I'm happy to be a part of that incremental growth. I'm happy to be a leader, a mentor to these girls. And, it's an opportunity that I've desperately needed. And I feel like the fruits of the labor will come, and we got another big game coming up next week and another chance for us to get back on the saddle, man. I feel like with Plainfield, they punched us in the mouth and we weren't ready. I think that in life, the perfect translation to that is, there's going to be so many unexpected things that are thrown your way, whether it's jobs, relationships, family. Life is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Life is unpredictable. But it's just how well you're able to manage those things and make lemonade out of lemons, right? I'm constantly learning each and every day how to manage, my mental health, physical health, and, elevate others along with me along the process. And, this podcast has given me not only the outlet to express myself, but also express, and bring to light a lot of the things that are going on in my life and the people that are important the most to me. And that's why for 16, 17 minutes of this podcast, I wanted to start out with my girls' flag football program because, they mean a lot to me. And I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, both happy mentally, happy physically, and just in an overall state of fulfillment if it wasn't for the North Plainfield girls flag football and giving me a reason to be a mentor and be someone to look up to. So even though it's tough, even though when we left that locker room, a lot of girls were upset, but I'm here if they're listening in. We're gonna go get a dub next week, and you gotta believe it. Put the work in, and the results will come. I promise y'all that. And thank you everybody that tuned in. Thank you also to everyone that supported with getting a hoodie. We do still have a couple hoodies left. If you would like to donate, grab a hoodie and help out with the cause. You're more than welcome to DM me, text message me, call me. My line is always open, and we're doing big things with the Talk That Talk show. I know it's been a week or so, but the main thing is making the most of the time while we have it. One of the things that is big and one of the hardest non-renewable resources to get is time, because you can't get that back once it's lost, man. So for me, coming here today and sharing to you all just where my mind has been and where my efforts have been in these last couple of days. And I just wanted to let y'all know that, because at the end of the day, you guys have been with me since the first episode, and you've supported me more than I could ever repay you all for. But I'm here to say we're back, man, and we're chugging along. One of the big things, and another huge thing that makes me who I am, is I'm a diehard Knicks fan. And we had my girlfriend's birthday. Big shout out to Doc. But, she's become quite the Knicks fan herself. And I feel like when you have someone that you truly love spending time with, a lot of the things that you enjoy, they start to enjoy too, because they just want to be around you and be a part of that happiness with you. And I wear this shirt because this New York Forever shirt was something that we got on opening night. The very first night of the season, we went to the game, and it was a great game. Got to see him play against the Celtics, but it was there that I truly saw that Doc really enjoyed watching the Knicks and becoming a fan. So, the bottom line was, the Knicks were playing the Sixers. There's nothing like Madison Square Garden in the playoffs. We've been able to go last 2 years. The Knicks were in the playoffs. And in my mind, I was looking at those tickets, and I'm just like, fuck, man. Do I really have $700+ to spend on some New York Knicks tickets? And I called my dad up, and he pretty much was like, yo, son, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. In life, you got to do things, man, And that was pretty much all I needed to hear, because in life, me personally, I feel like I'm a grinder, man. I'm juggling 2-3 jobs at the moment. Still finding time to build this brand. Still finding a way to, have different obligations and responsibilities and fulfill them. But, I think that when it came down to it, when you work hard, you just have to make sure that you're enjoying just as hard too, because all the money you can make, you can't take it in the grave with you, brother, sister. You can't take it to the grave with you. So, when it came down to it, ultimately, I wanted to make my girlfriend happy, which I succeeded in, because when I told her that we'd be going to the game, she started crying, and she said, it's too much money. But not only did I want to show her that, any money is worth it to make her happy, one, but two, for myself, and the overall message that I want to tell to people is that, when I was telling them about how I was going to go to the Knicks game, the first thing that people were saying was, I wish I could go. I wish I could. I'm so jealous, right? And the thing is, you could go. You all could go. But for some, way, shape, or form, we all have different walks of life and different responsibilities that prevent us from doing certain things that we want to do. And I'm here to tell you, almost to retrain the mind, that not to say that, hey, priorities are good, because, hey, you got to keep your priorities in order, because if you don't, you can't do anything, right? But I'm here to say that it's okay to splurge a little bit. It's okay to treat yourself. It's okay to maybe go a little bit, spend a little bit more than you wanted to make yourself happy. Because that's the thing that makes us human beings, is the ability to achieve and sustain happiness, right? And for me, being able to go to a Knicks game with my girlfriend, share something that I've wanted to do my whole life, have someone that I could go to a Knicks game with and just be passionate about and just share my love for this team with. And I was able to do that. And had I, let $700 or let the money amount, get in the way and cloud me from the happiness I wanted to achieve, then I would never have got the chance to see the comeback that the Knicks did. I think that in life, we can't let money dictate our happiness, right? I feel as though if there's something out there that you want to get, put it on a firm. right? You don't have to pay that whole thing all at once. If you manage your money, if you're working hard, why not put that thing on a firm? Put it on a payment plan. There's no shame in that. You know how many times I've went to Knicks games and put that on a fucking payment plan? The thing is, there are opportunities and there are options for you out there to achieve the things that you want. I'm speaking in reference to a Knicks game, but for you, it could be anything. It could be that trip out of the country. It could be that cruise you want to go on. It could be that leather jacket you might be thinking about. It could be that purse you were looking at in the window for multiple months. The bottom line is this. If you budget properly, if you have your priorities in order, then what is preventing you from buying certain things that you want, from getting certain experiences, right? If I really wanted to, I could have been like, well, shit, I'm taking Doc to Baltimore. She's going to the aquarium. That's it. I've spent way too much money. I could have said that, but no. When you have certain things in order, when you budget correctly, when you have and take advantage of certain resources, then the things that look so unreachable aren't that unreachable. It's not that crazy of an idea, right? So I feel like if you want certain things in life, you just have to go out of your way to try and seek them, right? And for me, it was a Knicks game. It was seeing that. And I'll say this. Sometimes you need to have your faith restored a little bit, right? When Kyle Lowry got fouled, and I think we were down by 2, I was so pissed, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, man, I was so tight. I walked to the bathroom, went to the bathroom, and as I was coming out, I heard the, ah! And sure enough, Jalen Brunson had hit a shot. So I run over to the aisleway, and I'm able to watch this beautiful play unfold where the Knicks steal the ball. Josh Hart, even though it wasn't called, steals it away from Tyrese Maxey, swings it around the perimeter. We get a shot. The Knicks go up, and this is what I'm saying to you guys here. Man, that was one of the best experiences that I've ever had and was ever a part of. So what I'll have to say is this. Make sure that you all challenge yourself, right? Because if I hadn't done so, I might not have had the chance, right? I got certain issues technologically, right? Is that going to stop me from delivering the episode, right? There's always a way to find something out. There's always a way to fix certain things, right? And I think that, for the Knicks, they were in a position where it didn't look good at all. You got one of the most diehard fans in the world going to the bathroom because it don't look good. But sometimes you just got to have something happen to restore the faith. Our girls got the shit kicked out of us by Plainfield. But you know what? Maybe it took that Zoom call. Maybe it took a hard practice of us working on one-on-one tackling, right? Maybe it takes those certain things to fix the things that you need. And for the Knicks, they fixed that toughness that they pretty much was lacking from beating the 76ers all year long. So for me, to witness the Knicks, it restored my faith where I was like, damn, yo, these Knicks are special, right? And that's why in seeing what we saw in Game 3 where Joel Embiid had to be a superhuman. Tyrese Maxey had to be a superhuman. And that got them one win. I'm here to say that the New York Knicks are a more complete team than the Philadelphia 76ers. Sure, they took our best punch, right? We were up 2-0. They got a nice little win back. But you know what? Winning on the road is one of the most difficult things to do in the playoffs. And I have no doubt in my mind that the New York Knickerbockers can do so. They are one of the most gritty teams on the road. And how do you win on the road? Defense. And Knicks defensively have shown me that even though Joel Embiid has gotten his, points these last couple games, even though Tyrese Maxey has seemed unguardable, Tom Thibodeau will find a way to make those possessions a little bit harder on the 76ers. I would be very, very shocked if the New York Knickerbockers come back to New York and the series is tied 2-2. And like I said before, sharing my time with somebody, having someone that wants to be around me, I am blessed to say that my girlfriend got us tickets to the 76ers game on Sunday. So she was so happy. She said, you know what? I'm going to make sure that we're going to be there. So I will be at game 4. It is going to be rocking in Philadelphia. I'm excited to watch the Knicks. We travel well. But, it's gonna be on, man. I cannot wait. The Knicks are one of my teams I love to death, and the fight that I saw from them in Game 2 literally has the faith in me to not be worried about what we saw in Game 3. That was Philadelphia's best punch. Let's see if they do it again in Game 4, and I'll be there to watch. In closing, thank you guys so much for watching the Talk That Talk show with me. Episode 149 is in the books. Big shout out once again to Cloud9 Dispensary for allowing us to vend our Talk That Talk show hoodies at the event. A lot of people ask me, obviously I have Barry's Corner. I make a lot of my picks there. You can check us out on Instagram. YouTube is going to be launching pretty soon as well too. But a lot of people ask me what are my favorite deals or what are the things that I like at Cloud9 Dispensary. And I'm here to give you 2 different options for you guys at what you could potentially get if you go to the dispensary I work at Cloud9 Dispensary. First things foremost, a lot of people would ask me, what's a great flower that you got? Everybody's got flower in the state of New Jersey. What do you guys have that we should check out? If you have not tried it from Viola, I would 1,000% get this Iverson 01. We definitely got it in store at Cloud9 Dispensary. It's testing at 31% THC, over 2.5% terps. This is going to be a hitter. It's one of those strains from Viola that, they can never keep on the shelves. So this is something I had to get in my bag, and you'd be a fool not to get it in your bag too. And then finally, one of the deals that makes Cloud9 what it is, people love this deal. If you get 2 packs of edibles, you are able to get one of these edibles for $2. And if you don't know about the Groons, these are some of the best ratioed edibles that we have on the market, all right? These ones, these Tangelos, are 2 to 1 to 1. So not only do they have THC, but they got CBC and CBG, the cannabinoids that give you the effects that you're looking for. And then my personal favorite, the blueberry lemonades, which are daytime sativa and gives you 30 milligrams of CBG to 10 milligrams of THC. You can get these packs for $2 if you get 2 edibles at Cloud9 Dispensary on Route 22 in North Plainfield, New Jersey. That is one of the best sponsors that we have. They've sponsored my bowling team. They've given me tremendous opportunities. I love Cloud9 Dispensary. If you're in the state of New Jersey and you're in the cannabis industry, you need to check out Cloud9 Dispensary right now. And that does it for episode 149. I thank you guys. I love you all so much. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for always supporting me in my endeavors. I love you all. This is what it's all about, man. Consistency, hard work, effort, man. That's the things in life that are my core values. I am not someone that is going to, just take the low road, take the easy road. This coaching opportunity has been one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life. And each and every day I come back hungry for more. And for you, those of you out there, if you have something out there, challenge yourself. All right? Challenge yourself, because you never know what happens when you do so. I love you all. Thank you so much. This is the Talk That Talk show, and I will see you all next week.